Am I live? Come on in. Yes, it says you are live. Welcome in to Mindset Mondays. Come on in, come on in. How's everybody doing today? OMG, time change, y'all. I don't know about anybody else, but it got me all messed up today. This time change. Let's miss it. Come on in. Today is we're gonna be talking about the law of curiosity. The law of curiosity. I'm gonna turn my comments so I can see them today. My comment. And I am on StreamYard. So if you're on, you come on in and I don't see your name. I think it has a thing where you can give StreamYard permission. I never say that, but I believe that is something that have to do. If you want me to comment on power for more. There we go. Yep. Live on all things. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good evening. I changed the time to 7:30 because if anybody was like me today, 6:45 got here and I was like, whoa, it is almost 7 o'clock. So if you see I changed the time from 7 to 7:30, it was just I needed time to adjust. So I was thinking if I needed time to adjust, maybe some other people needed some time to adjust today. So we're on at 7:30 today. And maybe I'll stay here. I don't know. But for right now, 7:30 kind of works. I felt that hour. If you all come on in here and you felt that hour that we lost, somebody said, no, we didn't lose an hour. We actually gained more sunlight. I felt like I lost an hour. And I'm good at keeping it positive, but I felt like I lost an hour. So if you felt like you lost an hour and not like, oh, I gained sunlight, put a 1 in the comments so I know it is not just me. If you felt like you lost that hour. I am reading from John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. It has been a journey. Those of you who've been on here with me from the beginning, and I'm so glad for those who have popped in. My passion is to empower other people, especially women. I am a woman, and my goal literally is to empower women. But of course, if a man comes on here and he's empowered, that's a win. That's a cherry on top. All right. But my heart is to empower women because I feel sometimes we sell ourselves short and we're amazing. And this is a reminder. So this is all about personal growth. This book, I've read it several times. I always say that. John Maxwell is a virtual mentor of mine. I'm also in his leadership training group. And so I am learning monthly, daily, yearly, how to grow, how to change the way I think, and I see things so differently. All right. Last week we talked about the law of trade-offs, and this week is going to be the law of curiosity. All right. And I love how he starts out. He says, growth is stimulated. You'll hear me a lot. I'm quoting John Maxwell. Growth is stimulated by asking why. All right. Why? Some men see things as they are and ask why. Others dream things that never were and ask why not. I love that. Okay. I love that. So we're talking about now, he talks about thinking about where curiosity comes from. That's how he kind of goes into this. And he says he thinks he was born with natural curiosity. All right. And I truly believe all children are born with curiosity. Honestly, I think we all have a nature to wonder why things that think about as kids. Mommy, why this? Why that? Daddy, why this? Why that? Auntie, why this? Why that? Why? My nephew, before I even had children, he used to ask me why. Why are you doing that, Auntie? Why are you cooking this, Auntie? Why? And I remember saying, boy, be quiet. Stop asking so many questions. We, as adults, as people, as a society, don't encourage curiosity. I wish I would have read this book. Jesus, I wish I would have read this book when I was in my 20s, when I was in my teens. I would have been a different parent. Okay. My children would be different. They're different now because it's been about 10 years I've been reading John Maxwell, but I would have raised them differently. Okay. And embracing this spirit of curiosity. He says, curious people thirst. They possess a thirst for knowledge. They just want to know why. All right. Just want to know why. Please drop a hello in the comment. Let me know you're here. I know the time changed. I don't see a lot of y'all on here. You're going to have to catch the replay. If you see that red box, you're watching me now. Not you're watching the replay, but feel free to come on in. I miss you guys. All right. But it's people who thirst knowledge. Like they constantly want to know. They're interested in life, people, experiences, ideas, events, and they live in a constant state of wanting to learn more. All right. Wanting to learn more. How do you cultivate this sense of curiosity? Like, I want to know more. I want to know more. He says, I love curious people because they enjoy, he says, and I enjoy spending time with them because when you're with people who are curious, your conversation is different. It's a lot different. He says they're excited for knowledge and learning is contagious. If you're around people who ask why, if you're around more people like me, some of y'all that are on here, you do want to know more. You want to grow. How do I do that? How do I get to that place? My thinking used to be, how do I become more poised when people attack me verbally? Like, I ask questions like that. Why do you let that get to you? Why are you bothered by that? Why did that upset you? Why, if somebody gives you advice, you feel offended? I'm that person. I really want to know why, because I don't want to be in that place, because those emotions steal your joy. So I'm always asking myself why. That is that curiosity. Okay, that's okay, being curious. So he's in this chapter. What he wanted to do is he wanted to give 10 suggestions for cultivating your curiosity. All right. 10 suggestions. And mind you, they're suggestions. Okay. He says, because some people, he gonna put it out there, are mentally lazy. They don't care why. They don't want to know why. They okay with watching Netflix and Hulu and sitting back eating and I'm gonna tell you, if you like it, I love it. I am not here to cast any type of judgment, but I don't function well around people who are okay with doing nothing all day. I'm not. He says, like, he used to get up first thing in the morning. I'm an early riser. I just can't sleep till 12 and 11 o'clock. I feel like I've missed something. So I'm like, dang, that's, like half the day is gone. So in here, he says, believe you can be curious. Okay. Curiosity of a child. Believe you can be curious. Put a 2 in the comment if you've ever just watched your own children when they were little, or you remember when they were little, or your niece, your nephew, your grandchildren. If you just watch them, they're so curious. They're in everything. If you just watch them, they migrate up the stairs, in the room, and you're like, where you at? Because they quiet. They want to know. They searching. Okay. So, can y'all hear me? Last week I was on mute, I think. Let me see. Yes, you can hear me. Last week people was like, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. I said, I'm good. So believe you can be curious. Many people fill their minds with limiting beliefs. They lack personal confidence or self-esteem. And that, honey, was me. I lacked confidence. I lacked self-esteem. I can say that now with certainty. I played small because I felt small. I felt like if somebody asked me, why are you doing that? I couldn't justify it. I didn't really know. I'm just doing what I was told, how I was raised, how I was taught to think. Yeah. And I didn't really know why. I didn't. And so he says that we put barriers and limitations on our own curiosity, our own way of thinking, because we have low self-esteem. Come on in. I see the numbers going up. I see the numbers going up. Y'all probably got caught up with the time change too, but come on in. They think that they're going to fail. It's like that greatest fear. I thought I was going to fail. You were a great teacher, but I was naturally really good at teaching. I didn't work super hard at it. I love the kids. I think what drew me to teaching children was their honesty, their purity, their sense of wondering why and not being afraid to explore. Um, I loved it. And I could be wrong around them and they would be okay with it. Like they're not judging me. They're not looking down on me. They were just like, Miss Abdul-Mateen, that's not the right answer. I started doing that on purpose because then I realized I knew what they were thinking. If they thought I was wrong, they'd share it. I know you're not supposed to do it that way, Mr. Abdul-Mateen. You could do it this way. And if you multiply and double this number, like they would come up with things in math I would have never thought about, but they made me curious. So that is one thing. Believe you can be curious. I don't care if you're 75 years old. Believe you can be curious. You want to do something new. My mom is 77, soon to be 78, or maybe 79. But she is always curious of why. Even with her own behavior, why do I get upset about this? Why can't I do this? Why? She is on this growth journey with me, and she's proud of me. At one time, my mom, it took her a minute to get to where I am, and I've been patient. And I want to tell you that be patient with people who are not here yet, not where you are. The second thing he says, he says the single greatest difference between curious, growing people and those who aren't is the belief that they can learn, they can grow, and they can change. That's it. Have you ever been around somebody saying, oh, that's just me? I've always been like this. That's my personality. My mama like this. They make all kind of reasons why they are who they are. They're not open to change. They feel like, I am who I am. This is the way God made me. So, then you go read the word. And you're like, he didn't make you that way. You've grown to be that way. And some of us, we've been this way for a long time. And it's taken me almost 10 years to unthink and unfeel and be unbothered about some of the things that used to bother me. I became curious. The next thing he says is have a beginner mindset. My greatest strength as a consultant, he said, is to be ignorant and ask few questions. This was Peter Drucker. That was his greatest strength. To be ignorant and ask a few questions. You ever been around somebody who think they know everything? You can't tell them nothing. I got a few comments. Tell me what I got. Hey, Tim. Hey, Lena. Hey, Tracy. Come on, people on here. Hey, y'all. You ever been around somebody who think they know everything? Let me tell you, people with a beginner mindset approach life in a totally different way. My sister had a vision God gave her about something to do, and she's doing it, but she's been curious. She's been doing it afraid. She's been doing it even with the fear of, I don't know what I'm doing. She's reaching out to people. She's asking new things. That curiosity, God, why me? You chose me. I'm going to keep doing it. But she has a lot going on herself, but she didn't stop there. All right. She didn't stop there. It says the way you approach life and learning has nothing to do with your age. I told you that. I told you. Nothing to do with your age. It has everything to do with your attitude. Everything that. So your mindset, believing you can be curious. The third thing is, he says, make why your favorite word. Why this? Why that? Let me tell you, that's a hard thing, especially, and I don't want to separate by race, but I know for me and my African-American friends, you got popped in your mouth when you asked why. Don't question me. We were taught not to question. And I believe and have read that comes from way back when, even when, slavery times. You don't ask why. You don't question. And so that is something that we've transferred even into now. I encourage my kids to ask why. I did. As an educator, I wanted them to ask why. You need to know why. You keep telling the kid, I heard a story of it was a pastor, and he said he told his son, don't cross the street. Don't cross the street. No, he could play in the yard. He couldn't go past to the sidewalk. He told him not to go to the sidewalk. He could play in the yard. He said he looks outside. He sees his son out there by the sidewalk. And he says, son, I told you not to go to the sidewalk. You could play all this grass and yard. He said, all this yard, but don't go to the sidewalk. He goes out 15 minutes later, he sees his son back at the sidewalk. He spanks him. Didn't I tell you? I just told you not to do this, and you've done it again. And he says his son starts to cry. And he looks in his son's eye and he was like, why would you keep going to the sidewalk? And you know what his son said? Daddy, what's a sidewalk? I heard that story a long time ago. And it made me think. We just keep telling people or sometimes telling our kids, because even adults cannot know why. I thought it was really important that they know why. If you don't know why, you ask me why. But it got them in trouble in school. There was many times I had to come up to the school because my kids were asking why. Why do we have to do it this way? And teachers are, you're being disrespectful. No, asking why. We've been trained not to ask why. As a public school teacher of 29 years, the system is not designed to ask our children why. Not even in college. Those of you who've gone to college, you remember those lectures, hold your questions to the end. Well, if I have a question now, why do I have to hold it to the end? That curious mind, when you start asking why, it opens up doors and other people start thinking. So the system is not designed. Think about this. It is not designed on some levels for creativity, for us to be creative, just be thinkers. They want to tell us what we should think or what history says and don't question it. So make the why your favorite word. He said, Albert Einstein says the most important thing is not to stop questioning. The most important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe as he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvel of structure, of just reality. We have this world itself. You're going to ask why. So he says the next one is 4 is spend time with other curious people. My mentor, John Maxwell, that's my virtual one, but my mentor, Christy, who opened this group, Empowered for More, who brought me into the business that I am, she is big on why. And because of her training, I asked my team why. Why are you doing this? Because for so many times, I think me and her have learned together. We both have been walking this walk because we've seen other people do it. And this is what they said is successful. But we both figured out, what is success for me? You ever ask yourself that? Like, is being successful for me having more money than I could ever imagine, buying a big house, all us got the cars that we want? Is that your why? Is that what you want out of your life? For some people, that's what they want. I really don't. I realize more stuff isn't going to make me happy. What I want, and I'm curious, is to learn more about life, about being healthy. I want to grow old, but I want to grow old gracefully. I want to grow old healthy. I want my children to not have to struggle financially, but I don't want to just give them money. I want them to learn different ways to make money, save money. That's what I want. So I want to know, how do you do that? So I now refer to people who have built their wealth, or how do you maintain wealth? How do you, how successful people think? And you'd be so amazed, because of some of my friends who are most successful with the most money, you'd never know it. They don't spend a lot of money on clothes. They don't. The way they do certain things we value, I think, is because we never had it. And so if you get to a place where you've had it, it's not such a big deal anymore. So be around other curious people. It changes how you think. He says, when you think about formal education, I think early grades curiosity is encouraged. Pre-K, we pretend to be princess and there's the kitchen, and you pretend. But as you get older, that changes. Hold your questions. It says no one in corporation deliberately sets out to stifle your creativity. And I love it now, because if you go to the workplace now, they're really asking people to be more encouraging. To be more curious and more creative. All right. The next one is 6. Partake in the fruits of failure. Today, if y'all notice, nothing's scrolling across the board. Nothing is, I have all my points. I literally, this day got away from me. Now that I'm working during the day, I got off. My daughter's car is totaled. For those of you who follow me, she got in an accident. Thank God she's healthy. And that is a miracle all in itself. I'm going to do a whole live on that was the hand of God, because she was a truck hit her car. and her car stopped. And when they were still in drive. She never even hit the brakes. But nonetheless, failure. Oh, I was look. I was like, where was I going with this? I did all of this today, and by the time I got home, it was still light, and I thought it was like 5 o'clock, and it was like 6 something. I was like, I'm not prepared for tonight. I'm gonna just put a note and say, I got to tell y'all why, and I'm not coming on tonight. And why was I gonna do that? Because I didn't want to come and look bad, or I didn't go through the material like I normally do, and I don't want to fail at this. People can come back and watch it anytime. And then I was like, this is a law of curiosity. I'm curious what you gonna do today, Angel? Are you gonna hide behind perfection? Or are you gonna show up because you have people who come to listen and you share this? This is not my material. So read the book if you need to. Have some conversation about who you are and what you're doing. But I showed up and you showed up. And I thank you. I'm doing this so sometimes things don't work out just the way you want them to, but show up. Sometimes showing up is the best thing you can do. That's what you accomplished. You didn't give an excuse. You showed up. So he says, experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experiences are. When you evaluate your experience, I was like, okay, so after this live tonight, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to type all my stuff up. I'm going to get ready for next Monday. So if something happened Monday, I'll still be ready. See, you learn from the experiences. You don't be upset about it. You just learn from it. Number 7 is looking for the right answer. This was me all day long. He says, because of his personality, and I have the same type of personality, I'm someone who's always looking for options. However, he says, I know that there are many people with different personality types, right? Believe it or not, he says there's some people who are motivated to find the right answer. Oh, that's me. I'm like him now, but for once I wanted to know the right answer. Well, what's the answer? I had a teacher teaching my son, and he has a photographic memory. He's really he can get math problems, whatever. But he was failing her class. And I was like, went on a parent-teacher conference, trying to figure out why is he failing your math class? He's getting the answers right. She didn't grade on the right answer. They had to come up with 3 different ways or 2 different ways to solve this problem, or the way he couldn't do it. And it wasn't that he couldn't do it. His mindset was stuck on, I got the right answer. What difference does it make how I got the answer? She wanted him to tap into that creative mind. She wanted him to tap into the different options you can do to get to this answer. So if you're that person that you're just looking for that one answer, that means you're going to close yourself off to other options, other opportunities, other ways to reach these goals. You will close yourself off from that. Is there anybody who gets what I'm talking about? Give me a heart in the comment if you know what I mean when I say you think I've succeeded. Yay, I got the right answer. But that's not the journey. The journey is how you got there, how you learn, the mistakes, the erasing, that you're figuring out, why didn't this work? Why did this work? That's the part. So he says, where I'm at, you've probably heard this expression, right? He said, because you've probably heard this expression, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. That's the phrase that definitely was not coined by someone dedicated for personal growth. Sometimes you got to be broken. Sometimes you got to be broken. Sometimes you got the right answer. And now what? You're going to stay here? You're not going to remember the law of the rubber band? You're going to stretch yourself? If it's not broke, that means you succeeded. You've reached that goal. You've reached where you set your mind. And now what? Some people, and I've realized I'm one of those people, I have to keep stretching myself, or I get complacent. And it makes me excited. Okay. It makes me excited to try something new, to do something new. It makes me wonder what's next. Like life is a journey, and I'm not stuck in one place anymore. I'm at a place now, I'm excited, but I'm like, in 5 years, I may do something different. In 2 years, I may do something different. I'm talking about 52. I don't have it all the time. I'm claiming to live to 90. So I'm like, God, and I healthy 90. So I was like, I got enough time to have a whole nother career. But what do I want that career to look like? I want to continue to find joy. I want to be someplace I can constantly grow. I want to be someplace I impact others and make a difference. That's what I want in my life. All right. He says, but I suggest you develop a questioner's mindset instead of replacing this and replace this popular phrase with the following questions. If it ain't broke, how can we make it better? If it ain't broke, when is it likely to break in the future? If it ain't broke, how long will it serve as the world changes? If it ain't broke, right? Some of us don't realize where we are in life. You've already succeeded. You're good at this place. That good will cripple you from being great if you don't go ahead and stretch yourself and try something new and fail doing it. Fail as much as you can, guys. That's what I say. I would have taught my children to fail every day. In his book, he talks about the power of failure. Fail every day. That means you trying something new every day. I wanted the guy would in the book talks about, he asked his grandchildren, what did you fail at today? They had a whole conversation, excited about it. Oh, I tried to skate, but I failed. I fell on the floor. I fell on the ground. I tried to ride my bike. I tried to create my daughter, Courtney. She was a science. Oh, she loves science. And I bought her a potato. It was this potato kit that you could make a clock out of it because of the acid within the potato. When I say that was the best gift I bought her. She loved that thing. But then it started to rot and the clock stopped working. So then she wanted to know, well, why is it rotting? Like what is happening? So one question led to another question. And you may say, well, what does that have to do with life and as an adult? When you learn to start asking questions and solving problems young, for the rest of your life, you continue to ask questions and you continue to solve them, whether it's your life, whether it's your job, whether it's your relationships, whether it's something you do for fun. You learn, you grow, and you make the people around you better. You make the people around you better. My mom has finally gotten to a point where she's comfortable because now her great grandchildren are asking why. It used to irritate her when my kids asked her why. Nana, why this? Why we got to do this? Because I said so. Stop asking me so many questions. Children should be seen and not heard. Y'all heard all those things. She doesn't say that anymore. Because I raised my kids to be like that. And now my children are raising their children. So asking why is not a bad thing. It's not that taboo thing. All right. Number 8 is get over yourself. Almost every advance in art, cooking, medicines, agriculture, design has occurred when someone challenged the rules and tried another approach. I had an awesome assistant principal who would tell me she wanted me to try new things because she knew I was I'm not going to say bored in my position, but I wasn't stretched anymore. And she would show me how she did things. And she would say, but if you can figure another way, you can do it. If you can figure a more effective way. And I always did. I was so excited to, she'd give me these reports and she was like, we need this, this, and this. And I would look at it and I would come back and she was so awesome. This is what I loved about her. She was so awesome. She would come and I would say, can I ask you a question? And I was like, why are you copying? No, I would say, why are you inputting all this one by one when you can copy it, paste it, get all this here and this button here? I tried it. And if you push it, it'll populate all the, and she was like, oh, didn't know that. She was also a John Maxwell graduate of this training. So I don't know if she knew the power of creativity and curiosity. And because I was curious, she kept letting me go. And I got good at this stuff, y'all. I was like a sponge wanting to know more. If you're at a place in your life and you're not soaking up knowledge or you're not learning things that make you excited, my sister, like I told y'all, she's doing this, getting people moving, right? My sister who has, she has stage 4 cancer. It's a very slow growing cancer. But I've seen a change in her as she's taken on with this vision that God has given her. And she's getting curious and she wants to know why. First, people were helping her. And then now she's like, but I want to know this. And what can I do about this? And the questioning. And now she's getting around other people who are thinkers and who are curious. And now I don't even know if she realizes it. She looks healthier. She looks happier. She has all these creative ideas that she didn't know. We all have it, but sometimes it's dormant. It sits because we haven't used that curiosity in so long that we think we just not curious, but we all are. Naturally, we are. But he says, get over yourself. If you're going to ask questions and allow yourself to fail, then you're going to look foolish at times. You're going to. Most people don't like that. I didn't like it. In fact, it was probably one of my worst fears. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want people laughing at me. I don't want people talking about me negatively. That was me. Okay. I can 100% that was me. He said, do you know what my response is? He said, get over yourself. I'm going to tell you all this. Get over yourselves. Okay. It's too much greatness in you to worry about failing. And it's too much greatness in you to worry about what people who aren't even trying anything new, okay with being average, are doing. Why are you worried about what they think of you? They're not changing your life. They're not paying a bill. Nothing. We give people too much power over us. He says, as Roger V. Oak says, if we never tried anything that might make us look ridiculous, we still be in caves. Hello. We'd still be in caves. He said, instead, we need to be more like children. Remember, I talked about that earlier. The thing I love about young children is they just ask. They just ask, why are you wearing that? What you got? And they ask some stuff. Sometimes it makes you mad. But then I ask myself, why are you mad? I want y'all to be curious about that. When you get upset about something, remember Angel said this. Ask yourself, why did that make me angry? Be curious enough, because this is personal growth now. All right. Why am I angry about that? Why did I get upset about that? Why did that make me so happy? When I get that recognition, that person said, oh, Tracy did a good job, or Lena did a good job, or I'm trying to see who else on here. And Nasia did a good job, or Tanja did a good job. If it makes you feel kind of puffed up, like, oh, she called my name, why does that make you feel that way? Do you need other people's input to feel good about yourself? Or are you sure enough about yourself that you don't need other people's approval? Or you may say, well, it's not people's approval, but I do like to be appreciated. I like to be celebrated. Like, that's a good thing. Like, and it's not a right or wrong. It's just asking yourself why. Think about your personal growth. Okay. Think about your personal growth. The last, number 10, he says, is enjoy life. Enjoy life. Oh, no. Number 9 is get out the box. I've always loved the quote. He says, there ain't no rules around here. We're always trying to accomplish something. All right. If you're that person that you have all the answers, you have stopped growing, and you're not going to do great in rooms where people are asking questions because you want to be the person who gets it all right. Be okay. Sometimes I know the answers and I just be quiet because I want to hear what other people thinking. What are they saying? Instead of being the one that always have to have the answer. I know it. Then if I know everything, I need to be moving on to something else that I don't know. All right. So get out the box. I value innovative thinking. And he says, I'm easily frustrated when people who refuse to think outside of their self-imposed boxes. When people say things like, we've never done it like that before, or we always do it this way. He said, I want to shake them. I'm with him. I just want to shake him. He said, you've already died and are obviously just waiting for somebody to make it official because you're not growing anymore. I'm going to stay right here. That's the way and some people are very indignant about it. That's how I always do it. Why we got to do it that way? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? If it's fixed, don't break it. No, if it's break, what was it? Look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You enjoying this, Tracy? Yes, honey. Oh, so I know I'm all off. This one I ain't gonna be able to load up. But Tracy is in here. Tracy, curiosity. She saw my post about the student loan thing. She's already posted, so I ain't telling her business. But she was curious, like, well, let me go check mine. She called me first last week when I first shared it. And I said, yeah, go to the site. She hadn't done it yet. She said something told her this morning. to get up and go check that site. She went on the FAFSA site. She owes zero. Loans forgiven. Curiosity. The loans were forgiven last year. Just like me. Curiosity. We got to be curious. Are we sitting on blessings that we don't even know because we're not even curious enough to check? You see what I'm saying? Curiosity. I mean, on the little things and the big things. Curious. And it blesses you. It opens up other doors. It relieves us from stress and other things we go through. That curiosity. I'm telling you. It says it requires, he said, good ideas are everywhere, but it's hard to see them if we won't look inside of our box. Instead of remaining confined, people need to break the walls of their boxes. I am loving breaking out of the walls of my box. Sometimes I just don't know the answer. And I used to, again, feel small if I didn't know. So I'd be up there looking for answers before a person could ask me because I don't want to say I don't know. Now, honey, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. What you think? Sometimes I have a good idea, but let me hear what you think first. I got an awesome team of women working their business, and I just tell them everything. Do this, do that. Show now. What do you think? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna make this different? This is your goal for this week. Why is this your goal? You don't think you can shoot higher? If that's the goal you have, what are you using that for? I'm asking why. Why? It makes people uncomfortable. It used to make me very uncomfortable, and I used to say, "Why are you asking me why?" She wanted me to think. And if you're not used to thinking outside of your own box and outside of what people tell you and outside of what society tells you, it's a very uncomfortable place. The last one he says is, when average people ask themselves, can I do this? Based it on circumstances, they see an abundant thinker and ask questions differently. All right. An abundant thinker says, how can I? Okay. How can I do this? How can I make this work when I'm not prepared? How can I? What I did, I looked at the bullet points, and that's how I'm going through that with you. That's how I can. He says, enjoy your life. Perhaps the greatest way to remain curious and keep growing is to enjoy life. I want to travel. I want to see new places. Our world is amazing. God has done amazing. That's what I want to do. I don't want to build more homes. I want to own more homes so that I can have properties for my children, like, investment. But I don't live to have more stuff. I don't. I want to travel. I want to experience things. I want to do girl trips with my kids and their friends and my friends. I want my husband to do guy trips with the sons. I want to do couples trips. I want to do customer relationship trips. I want to bless people with trips. That's what gets me going. I want to go on church trips. I want people to explore things they've never seen before. I want to adopt a classroom and bless a teacher where we can do things with those kids they've never done. When I taught in DeKalb, there was kids who had never even seen Spaghetti Junction. We had never gotten out that area. We were on a field trip, and they was like, we're on a roller coaster. And my heart was like, wow, they've never left their community. They've just been right here. So if my goal is to make more money, it is to make more money to bless other people. And I'm curious how God gonna lead me on that journey. I am curious. What you gonna do? It's not in angels' hands, it's in God's hands. And the moment I've let and released go of all of that control and trust him, people are coming in my path because the word says he orders our steps. But in order to order your steps, you got to move. You can't, if you just standing still waiting, well, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. Who going to bless me? Who going to give me an opportunity? Who going to this? But you're not moving. You got to move. You got to move. Ask people who going to tell you no. Will you help me with this? I'm doing a fundraiser and I want to do this. No, I'm not interested. Okay. Thank you, though. I appreciate your time. Go over here and ask this person. I'm having an event. I want to know no, I'm not really interested. Well, if you know anybody, let me know. I used to be okay. Oh, that somebody telling me no. Oh, I'm like, I would take that so personal, but it wasn't about me. They just said no, they weren't interested. So good evening. Somebody says Facebook user, and I don't know your name because it's not showing me. So if you put your name in there, I'll know, or I think you have to get StreamYard permission. I don't really know how that things work, but if you just put your name, say Angel, that's me. But good evening, honey. Good evening. Enjoy your life. That's what he says. Tom Peters, an author in Search of Excellence, observes the race will go to the curious and slightly mad, and those with an unsaturated passion for learning and being a daredevil, trying new things. He says, I believe it honors God when we enjoy life and live it well. He tells us the words say don't struggle. Don't want us to, no, I'm sorry, take that back. He don't want us to stress. We're going to struggle, but he said he with us on the mountains and the valleys. He's with us. The rain gonna rain on the just and the like we know all these things in the word. I came across something that said, God said, don't even argue with foolish people. He doesn't want us quarreling. He wants us to enjoy this life. And then when you enjoy life and you have joy, let me tell you, it's contagious. And other people, you attract those type of people. If you are a complainer and you're arguing and all you talk about is negativity, that is going to be your circle. I am allergic to negative people. I'm not talking about sad people. I know sad people who are still open to growth and change, and they're gonna listen. But some people I know have been negative for years. And I don't know. It's gonna take something, but it's not my job to make that happen. And that's another thing. It's not my job. I took off my cape. It's not my job to save everybody. All right. Curiosity was the key, and I'm almost finished. I went over a little bit, but I just had to because this book, of course, this will happen when I didn't prepare. But maybe this is what somebody needs to hear. Okay, maybe this is what somebody needs to hear. And the change mindset enables you to rekindle your curiosity. All right. In this, it says the law of curiosity. Do you know these answers? This is the homework. Remember, I always say people, do me a favor. I got to pick 2 people from last week. I haven't, but for this week, put a number between 7 and 25 in the comment. Because I already had y'all put like 1 and 5, so I don't want to use those numbers. 7 and 25 for your for you to be able to get another book. So that means I got 3 people, 3 books I got to get. 4 books. Because last week I said I was gonna pick 2 people. All right, it's okay. Better late than never. Never. Better late than never. Okay, you can watch the replay. But these are 10 questions I want you to ask yourself. All right. And it says to know the answer, ask yourself these 10 questions. All right, for the law of curiosity. Do you believe you can be curious? Do you have a beginner's mindset? That means you can approach something with not I know it all. Like some people won't even attempt to be involved in anything that they don't know the answer. So do I have a beginner's mindset? Have you made way for your favorite word? Think about what's your favorite word. My favorite word, like really, is empowerment. That has been my word. Empowerment. Peace would be a close second, but empowerment has been my word. So think about what's your word. And I would say put it in the chat, but it take a while. It took me a while when somebody first asked me what's my word, and I first read this book. I was like, what do you mean? What's my word? That word that it's something inside of you. It's in you. What is that word? Encouraging, loving, building. I don't know. I don't want to tell you. I'm not gonna keep giving you examples. Think about your word. All right. Do you spend time with curious people? Or do you sit around with people who y'all sit and gossip and watch TV all day? Or you sit and I'm not knocking it. I'm giving examples. Think about what you do. I had to change a lot of stuff. So I'm not throwing shade. I've done this. 1 was, do you believe you can be curious? 2 is, do you have a beginner's mindset? 3 is, have you made why your favorite word? That's what it was. Have you made why your favorite word? Do you spend time with curious people? Do you learn something new every day? I try to learn something new every day, whether it's in the Bible, whether it's in my business. Now that I'm working, I'm definitely learning new stuff every day in this new company I'm part of. And I'm asking why. Like I'll ask why in a minute. Ask why. Don't be afraid to ask why. And if you ask somebody why and I love it, D. I love it, D. She putting all kind of numbers. Like, I'm going to get this book. I don't know which number, but boop, boop, boop. That's right. It's not going to hurt. I didn't say put 1 entry. Yeah. But yes, it says, do you learn something new every day? Do you partake in the fruit of failure? Failure. I next week when we get on here, I want everybody to tell me, Angel, I've been failing. I've been failing. I've been failing because if you're failing, you are trying something new. I went out and tried to do this. I tried to do that. I asked this person for this. I tried something. I tried something in my relationship. I tried a meal that I cooked for my family, and they was like, "Oh, this nasty." I'm the vegan in the house, well, pescatarian. So I'm always trying meals, that tofu meals. And sometimes it's a winner, and sometimes they like, okay, this your funny meat, right? This your funny meat. We don't want that. So I try. So I fail at what I'm cooking. I fail at sometimes my diet. Sometimes I eat too much that I'm not supposed to be eating because I done got comfortable. I come on. All right. So do you partake in the fruit of failure? Have you stopped looking for the right answer? It's not working. It's not working. So you're gonna quit or you're gonna keep looking for the right answer. You're gonna get right and right people. My sister Lena, she ain't quit. She couldn't figure out what to do. Dion, I went to one of her plays and she acting and literally watching this girl from my sister, one of her best friends as teenagers, preteens, and watching her grow and be so comfortable in her own skin. I don't know if you ever knew that, Dion. I always admire you. I always admired you. You did not care what anybody thought. And if you did, we know it. You was just yourself. And she'd be that person saying things, talking and laughing. And I used to just be like, she don't care what nobody think. How she is so brave. Because here I am worried about people thinking all kind of stuff like me. Even being smart, I was worried people was thinking I think I'm a know-it-all. Like just it's taken a long time to get to this place. You've been that person your whole life. At least I thought you were that person. And as an adult, you still are. So I commend you. I salute you. Keep doing big things, sis. The next one is, have you gotten over yourself? Have you gotten over yourself? Stop worrying about what people think. Stop worrying about looking foolish. We gonna look foolish, especially if you try new things. Might look foolish. Have you stopped looking for the right answer? That one thing. Okay, that one thing. Oh, I read that one already. Do you get out of your box, or are you only comfortable and you only stay where you're comfortable at? Like you not trying anything new. This is where I'm comfortable at, and I'm not trying nothing else. Okay. Are you that person? You're not gonna grow. You gotta get that box is your comfort zone. If you're never uncomfortable, that means you're not doing nothing new. Sometimes I embrace being uncomfortable. I went whitewater rafting and I have one more and I'm out. I know I've been on here like almost an hour. Ooh. I went whitewater rafting and I was terrified. Like I was terrified. Has anybody ever gone whitewater rafting? Put a smiley face or put some water, that little water emoji. If you've ever gone whitewater rafting, it's in Tennessee. I was terrified. Like that boat, it's this raft, and I was terrified. And everybody else was with me was kind of like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. But I was terrified. I don't like being terrified. I don't like being scared. Again, that's that control thing in me, but I really don't like it. And so we got to a place where the water was really calm, and the instructor's like, okay, you guys, this is the place where if you want to jump in, you can. You can get out the raft and jump in. I was the only one who jumped in. But let me tell y'all, oh my God, when I jumped in and I came up, because I felt that current, like you could under the water, like this power, like water is so beautiful. And we drink it, but it was this current that I felt like, oh God, it's supposed to, take me under, but it didn't. And when I got out and I came up, I felt free. I was free of this fear. So when I tell you, like, fear will keep you blinded. It will keep you small. It will keep you numb. It will keep you comfortable. It will keep you average. God didn't make us average. You guys are beautiful. You guys are awesome. Please hear me. You are beautiful. You are awesome. You are mothers. You are wives. You are friends. You are you. You are none of those things. You're you. And that is enough to make you better than average, to be extraordinary because there's nobody like you. Just thought about that. Like we get caught up in these titles of who we are, but really, if you were none of those things and you were just Tracy, if you was just Lisa, hi Lisa, if you were just, Christy, but you're you. Nobody else can be you. No one else can do what you do, what you've been destined to do. So that in all of itself, oh my God. I hope y'all caught that. I hope you caught that. All right. I hope you did. The cure for, are you enjoying your life? That's the last one. Ask those questions. Those were 10 questions. Are you enjoying your life? And if you're not and you're sad, do something about it. Okay? Do something about it. Sure, reach out to me. Now, don't reach out to me with a bunch of sad stories, but reach out to me if you want to do something about it. Like, Angel, I'm kind of stuck. It's so much work in this book. I really think I'm going to do, after this, we finish, a separate Zoom where we can do like kind of work day trainings or something through it. Like, like an hour once out the week or something. I don't know, because there's work to be done. Like, I'm just giving you bullet points, but you see, when I don't have my notes, I go all in. But there's things these are questions we could ask as a group and talk about it and hear how other people think and how other people see things, because sometimes we don't know how to think outside the box. We've been living in that box so long, we don't know how to live outside of it. He says the cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity. Just be curious. Grow and learn. This has been awesome. I love you guys. Next week is oh my God, there's a whole nother section of applying. You got to get the book. I will draw the names though. The next one is the law of modeling, and not modeling like, hey, it's modeling all of this stuff. This is where the work comes in. Like, if you made it to this part of the book, when I got to this part, I was like, ooh, he saved the bit. Like, you really, this is where you start doing the work. So the next one is the law of modeling. It's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. Okay. So now it's like you've learned all of this stuff. You're changing your mindset. Now what? Now this is the work part. Y'all have a blessed evening. If you can't swim, definitely don't jump into that water. But if you can't swim, what can you do about that so that you can try it? So that's what you got to think. That's in your mind, right? Get some swimming lessons. Go ahead. Try something new. All right. Good evening, everybody. I love y'all. I'll see you next Monday at 7:30. I'm going to push it back because of the time change. I'll make it 7:30. All right. Y'all be blessed. Mwah. Love y'all.